What's up, everybody? So, got a couple of new blades in this week, both from Les George. Kind of classic situation for me. I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I just get both, and I love them both. So, kind of what I wanted to do here was kind of like a first impressions video. I've carried them both for about the same amount of time this week, a couple days each. I've had, this is a VECP from Les George, and this is the Les George Talos. I've had a VECP before, but, just pretend I didn't. I just kind of wanted to talk about these knives as if I've never had either of them before, and I'm kind of experiencing them for the first time, because I'll tell you, like, trying to decide which one I wanted right off the bat was really tough. Like, we'll just start. They're super, super similar in a lot of ways, particularly in that blade shape. It's like practically the same blade, different handle. They're super close, but both awesome and completely different feeling in hand. So let's start with the VECP, I guess. I'll give you a quick read off of the specs. I'm not really a big spec guy because I feel like just talking numbers doesn't really give anybody a good feel for what a knife actually is, but I think it might be helpful here because there are some small differences. So the VECP, make sure I got the right one here. This one here, VECP, overall length 8.18 inches, blade length is 3.5. They're both in Magna Cut, so that's the same. Blade thickness 0.15 inches, close length is 4.74, call it 4 3/4. Full titanium, Magna Cut. They're both on phosphor bronze washers. VECP on the other hand, pull that one up here. Overall length 8 inches, so it's a little bit shorter. 3.5 inch blade, the same. 0.15 inch blade thickness, the same. Magna Cut, titanium frame lock. I don't have weight or whatever here, but I'll tell you, obviously, if it wasn't apparent early on in the video, the Talos is a little smaller, for sure. A little smaller, different ergos. So pretend you're picking one up for the first time, because that's key here. This has that kind of forward choil, like really dedicated, kind of locks your front index finger into position. Kind of like an old school feel to a knife. Tactical, like it's got, kind of locks a finger in, locks your hand into position, and that's kind of where you ride. It's a blockier handle. It's got those chamfered beveled edges. Chamfered, they're rounded off somewhat. Not radius, but they're rounded off. But it's a blockier design. And I like that. I'm into blocky feeling knives. The more contoured and sculpted things get, the less I tend to like them for whatever reason. But I really like how this feels. It feels heavier. It feels thicker. Go over here to the Talos. It's just a much more natural feeling knife to grip. If you don't like kind of dedicated finger grooves, finger choils, you'll like this one more. It definitely feels thinner. It definitely has more of a radius to the actual scales. It's very, very comfortable to hold. It definitely feels slimmer. I don't have calipers yet. I'm gonna eventually get a set so I can do these videos and give everybody a little bit more of a better idea of things other than just me talking about how I feel about something. But it definitely feels thinner. It feels taller in hand. Like this aspect, it feels like it fills your hand more, which kind of makes up for the fact that it feels thinner. Again, this is just me talking. Like first impressions. If you were to pick this up, it's like, God, that feels thin. It feels surprisingly light for its actual weight. Like it's almost 5.5 ounces, 5.43 ounces. It feels light, When I unboxed this, they're both used, by the way, if I didn't mention that. I don't think I did. When I first opened this up out of the box, I was like, holy smokes, that is light for a full titanium frame lock. It's all relative. It's all like in how it carries and how it feels in hand. I know 5.5 ounces isn't actually a light knife. You know, I've got knives that are way lighter than that, but it feels light for how substantial it is. I'm sure it's just tuning, but this one is, bad example here. It feels smoother. I think it's just tuning. I probably need to loosen up the pivot on this one. This one's definitely a little bit, you can almost hear it. It's almost like it's just dry. I need to take them both apart and give them a good treatment. That'd be a good video. I've got all sorts of ideas for these videos, but I got these this week and just really wanted to talk about them side by side, particularly because like I don't think there's another video on YouTube that takes these side by side and just kind of gives you a feel for them both. Because I was really looking, I was like, God, which one do I want? They're secondhand even. They're $450 each. They're not, it's no joke, but I love Les George. I think he has great work. I read a comment on, I don't know where it was, Facebook or TikTok or Blade Forums or somewhere this week, but they were saying something about, Les George knives being, having the ergos, like the lock-in feeling of an Emerson with the simplicity of a Strider, and then I don't know, there's something else, but he really combines like the best of so many different knives with these designs. They're simple, they're rugged, yet they're also like really elegant and really nice to carry. Like definitely hard use working knives, but elegant too. They're both great. I don't think you can go wrong with either one, honestly. Whichever one pops up, if you're wanting to try a Les George mid-tech, these are unbeatable. Like everyone should have one of these in their collection for the money. Like that's another thing I keep hearing and seeing, and I completely agree with. Like this is a mid-tech knife, so it's not a full custom by any means, but it's a mid-tech knife that might as well be a custom. Like they are so nice. He does not miss a beat on anything. His finishes are exceptional. His tolerances are exceptional. Grinds, edges. The biggest thing Les George owners can agree on is there is no smoother knife out there, especially at this price point. Like they are so glassy smooth. When you tune them right, you get bearings like action with the phosphor bronze washers that are on here. Super smooth. And then being phosphor bronze, they're, obviously more hard use, less room for gunk and crap to get in there and mess things up. I don't think I have a favorite. I think the lines, the aesthetics, the feel of the VECP just kind of call to me. I kind of like that chunkier look and feel in a knife. This, aesthetically, doesn't do it for me as much, but the way it feels in hand is unfreaking believable. Super comfortable, super ergonomic. Like I said, you can't go wrong with either. I highly recommend, if you haven't tried a Les George knife, get out there and try one, pick one up. They're really hard to get on the drops, so join his Facebook. Not his Facebook group doesn't have sales, but there's another Facebook group called Les George Knives where you see these things pop up relatively frequently. All sorts of variations. This is his sweep milling pattern. The VECP also comes in that pattern. You can find it. I just ended up with a plain Jane and found this one in a sweep and had to have one of each to kind of compare them and make videos like this because you don't see a lot of them out there. What else? Closing thoughts. Little things. There's no over travel stop on the Talos. So if you're really thinking you want a hard use knife, This gives you a little bit more sense of security. If you're really freaking wailing on that lock bar, you're not going to over travel it. Same pocket clip, probably all the same hardware. It's literally the same freaking blade. Like I said, I don't have calipers to go in there and start measuring things, but that looks like the same blade to me. Yeah, guys, they're awesome knives. Check them out online. Highly recommend joining like the Facebook groups or going on blade forums or even Reddit. Look for these things secondhand because they are near impossible to get when he drops them. They just sell out in literally seconds. So anyways, that's it, guys. Stay tuned. I'll probably do like in-depth reviews on each of them in the future. I'm just kind of still trying to find my footing here. Still trying to just be consistent with making these videos. I just need to be better about taking notes and, you know, really diving into one knife and not just rambling like I do. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think. If you like this kind of format of videos, just kind of casually talking about stuff and giving broad overviews, big brush strokes about products and what I think of them. If you like that, let me know. Leave a comment below. Please give me a like. I'm trying to build something here, and I've got a lot of cool ideas for the future going forward where I talk about knives, I talk about boots and, you know, EDC, pants, flashlights, all that stuff and the like. Just kind of trying to find out how to make these videos. So far it's, you know, it's not been hard, but just kind of finding my footing. If you got advice, shoot me a message, leave me a comment. I'm all for it. Would love to hear what you guys think. Have a good night, everybody.